Welcome back to Valhalla VW. Today we're going to be changing the water pump on the Volkswagen T4. So, you join us today underneath the Volkswagen T4 again. It's a Volkswagen, of course we're underneath it. The T4 water pump has decided it wants to leak and drip a little bit, so we're going to change it. Let's get some tools out. Before we do that, let's just show you what we got. So, we've gone with one from Bilstein. There it is, brand new. See, nice and smooth. Let's get it on. So front wheel's already removed. So after we removed the front wheel, we had to remove the serpentine belt. This is the water pump pulley here, and as you can see, you shouldn't do that, it's broken. The other clue to it being broken is obviously the constant drip of water. Okay, so first job before we take the serpentine belt off is to loosen the nuts. Oh, not nuts, they're actually Allen bolts. Oh, stretch that. On the end of the water pump pulley. So we'll do that now. That's a 6mm Allen key. Okay, so they're now undone and loose. Next thing to do is to remove the serpentine belt off of here, but we put a 13mm spanner on here. Push that up to take the slack off, and then this will then pop straight off. So the spindle is now removed on the pulley. So we're left with this. So you play and up and down, and you can hear it. It's very definitely broken. Let's get the new one. Okay, so in true Valhalla VW fashion, this definitely has not gone to plan. Not for anything that we've done, but more problems due to the engine swap from the previous owner. So at present we have got the alternator out, we've got the power steering pump off, and we are now trying to remove the aircon bracket off. Well, we don't know what it's off. It could be off an Audi 80. We don't think it's off the T4 because this model would not have had aircon fitted, although it could be a generic bracket. But we're struggling to find what the bracket even is. It's all good fun. This is where we're at. As you can see, the power steering pump is down there on the floor. The alternator is over there. There's the offending water pump, which is dead easy, and this here, just here, is the bracket we're trying to get off. However, it doesn't just go there, it goes all the way up here, all the way around there, all the way up there to there. So we googled T4 alternator bracket. None of them look like that. Should basically be 4 bolts. I found 3. And the last one is either not there, or I have a nasty feeling that the person who owned this before has either snapped the bolt and just give it a blob of weld to hold it in place, or who knows, but we're going to find it. So anyway, I've had to take all those bits off. I'm pretty sure you won't have to take all those bits off because it should be fairly straightforward, but this is where we're at. It's all gone pear-shaped. Okay, so for clarification, I'm just going to show you where I found the 3 bolts that I've managed to find out of the 4. And if you come across this pig of a bracket, at least you'll know where they are. So the first one is just here, as you can see. Second one was buried inside up in there. You need a long reach 11mm socket for that. third one was through, where was that one through? That was in through this hole here. You can see there. So there's 3. So we've managed to get the 3, the 2 centre ones, a middle one and a bottom one here. So now there's one missing up the top here somewhere. So, good news. I figured it all out by myself. I found the diagram which showed the bracket, and I managed to locate all the bolts, and it is now off. There, look. So we now have clear access to the water pump. I'll show you. So as you can see, you now have access to the water pump, and there's 1, 2, 3 up there, 4 bolts. Let's get it off. So the water pump is off. You see the impeller in there. It shouldn't have side to side play. You can hear it. Knackered. New one. So refitting the pump is the exact opposite of obviously removing it. I've refitted the thermostat into the housing temporarily. I'm going to buy a new one, but just temporarily because we need to flush it through anyway, so we'll clog up this one rather than run a new one. New O-ring in place on there. So here we go. So we're going to offer it up to there, which is obviously the water intake there. We've wiped all around there and got any residue of silicone, etc, etc off. And we need to connect these hoses back up. So there we go, the water pump is back in situ. These bolts here on this particular brand, these are the original bolts, and they were very tight going through the new casing, so they just need a little tap for hammer, but be careful, the alloy, so just be a bit careful. But there we are, it's in place, it's filled with water, flywheel is back on, everything now lines up, which it didn't before. There we go, it's trying to get that bracket back on. It's just another view from the side. You see the flywheel is now back on. You can see the pump up in there. Now we just need to get the bracket back on, steering pump back in, alternator back on. 5 minutes on, no problem. It may be a little longer. Okay, before I put this bracket back on, I'm just going to show you where the bolt holes are, just for future reference, because they were an absolute pig to find. So I'll show you where they are. So looking down from above, we have one here, one down there which you'll need a long reach for, one over the top almost directly behind the sound deadener, and one through this hole here. So if you have this bracket on your T4, that is where you will find the bolt holes. I hope that helps, because that would have saved me about 2.5, nearly 3 hours trying to find and locate different diagrams, etc, etc, etc. So you're welcome. As you can see, it's all back on, everything's there, no drips, everything's good. Okay, so all the water pump and everything is back on. We've given it a test and completed it, mate. So hope the video helped you. I say, with regard to that bracket and bits and pieces, I hope there's some useful information in there. And yeah, if your water pump's no good, go and have a go. and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.